Ah, Captain Ginyu, leader of the Ginyu Force and Dragon Ball FighterZ resident summon character. In the first 2 seasons of DBFZ, Ginyu was a pretty rare pick. His kit lacked some of the tools necessary to succeed in this game, and even though he had Goldo, Raccoon, Birder, and Jace backing him up, he just didn't have what he needed to be competitive. With Season 3 came some fine-tuning that added a legitimate level 3 and some tweaks to his 5H, and just like that, Ginyu became viable. Though he's a technical character that requires some memory to keep track of the Ginyu Force, his high damage output and godlike DHC setups make him very worth a look in Season 3. Today, I talked to Neji4Real about how to make Captain Ginyu shine on your team. What's up, y'all? KRC Pinto here. I'm hanging out with Neji4Real. He's a competitor and a content creator and a super sick Ginyu main. Neji, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, bro. Glad to be here.
Dude, glad to have you. Really stoked to talk about this character because he's been getting a lot of looks this season. Goichi played him a little bit. I know Double L's playing him in the national championships, and he's a character I don't know a whole lot about outside of like his basic toolkit. So really hoping you can bring the sauce today and show us make some work. You ready?
I definitely got you, man.
All right, let's jump right into it. All right, so Neji, first question is usually, what is your favorite move for your character and why? But I feel with Ginyu, that's kind of a given. It's got to be some sort of Ginyu Force move. So instead, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite Ginyu Force call and why?
Matter of fact, I'll answer both of those questions.
Oh.
My favorite move from Ginyu is 5M.
Really? Okay.
Because I'm out here, right around this area, and you're getting touched. Because what I'll do is I'll manipulate this area, kind of like a Vegito player. And right when you think you can do something is when I'll slide in. And getting hit from a medium from Ginyu is tough. Now, it's really a toss-up between 5M and EX shoulder tackle. EX shoulder tackle is a startup of 17. Has a good distance, gets prioritized quite a bit over some stuff towards the end, and on block, you get pushed back. So if you decide to punish me, you don't know you can get hit with 2.
Wow, I really jumped the gun on my opening statement about assuming what Ginyu call was the move. You know, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just asked a normal question because this unexpected answer is phenomenal.
Ginyu calls are great, but the problem with Ginyu calls is they're all like negative 36 or 36 starter frame. So ultimately, Ginyu last character is rough. Really rough, and you have to manipulate what you're gonna do, because if they have a mobile character and they're on you, there's nothing much you can do with Ginyu, and there's no Ginyu Force coming out unless you're in Spark and you Ginyu Force empty vanish. That's about it, safest you can get it.
That's interesting that you specifically said that he is rough in last character because you are currently playing him in Anchor on your team,
right?
So is there a logic behind that makes up for that weakness?
Yes, so if I go back to the beginning, right? This is my team layout. Team Gohan's the point character, because, Team Gohan shines in point. Kid Buu's mid instead of last, because if anything happens to Team Gohan, I want Ginyu to still have it set up. So instead of Ginyu coming out with a C assist, it's Kid Buu coming out with a shoulder tackle. But if I get the hit, get a chance to put you in the corner, that's a free setup for Ginyu. So, basically, the way I play Ginyu, he could be last character because I feel like I'm good enough to put him back there. And the stuff that I do on people does too much damage, especially last character, and we're not forgetting about sparking. That'll just destroy your team to the point where almost any touch is 80-90% of your health, and that's before supers. But for the logic of him being in the back, right? Hopefully I get this right the first time. On round start, let's say if you get hit by kicks. Round start. right, from Team Gohan. We're already put in the corner. Not only you put in the corner, I just gained so much meter. Not only did I gain so much meter, the goal of this combo is that on round start, I get, there we go, I get setup from round start.
Right.
Kick. Then, let's just have another watch. They lose about 80% of their health. I called the Ginyu Force members, and then you have to eat up the setup. So right out of the gate, either sparking or losing that character. And that's why I have him in the back like that. Also, Team Gohan generates a lot of meter, of course. So Team Gohan's in the front. Get a lot of damage. Off the rip. I build a lot of meter, and then I tag right back into Ginyu. It's always, I'm not playing Ginyu the whole game. Ginyu's literally just for setup. That's what this team is about. This team is all Team Gohan Kid Buu. I just need to learn how to play Kid Buu, but for the most part. Ginyu's always just going to be there for extra damage. And then when I need to tag Ginyu in for the setup, that's when he comes out to play. Because back then he was on point.
Right.
The problem with him being on point is with this season, there's too many people that go through projectiles or too many people who have good projectiles to stop him from calling his force. So he's really not good at point.
Okay.
Ginyu second is not really ideal either, in my opinion. It's fine, but if I have this setup, most likely he needs to go behind Kid Buu, in my opinion.
Okay, cool. That's a lot of strategy put into that lineup. I dig that, dude. Put a lot of thought into that. That's why you're a good competitor, I guess.
We're gonna hope so, because we're gonna see what this team does whenever I feel confident enough for this team to be play competitively.
Ah, dude, you'll be fine. All right, so let's circle back. Let's talk about the Ginyu Force. What's your favorite Ginyu Force call and why?
It's a good question.
It's a tough one because they all are great in different situations.
Exactly. I guess my favorite is Goldo.
Goldo, is it the paralysis one?
Yeah. Goldo takes you out the corner. Also, Goldo, the only way you can get body change in this game. So, I mean, like, Coom is great. His beam is the best beam in the game.
His beam's the best beam in the game?
Hands down. When it comes out. Anyways. That's the downfall. It takes too long to come out. But
what makes it the best in the game? Just out of curiosity, I don't know much about it.
One, it comes out and dominates anything on the screen unless it's another beam. The hit stun on it is amazing. So for instance, let's say I'm out here doing something and you get hit by that beam. I can run full screen and catch that confirmed easily. If I have a bar, I can turn it into something damaging. So if I'm hanging in the air, I see you get hit, I can shoot over there,
And go.
That's damage.
Interesting.
Up the gate. That holds you down really heavy. It's hard for people to see you through Raccoon's beam. So if you're in the corner blocking and you can't see me anymore.
And that's part of the setup you were doing earlier, right?
In a nutshell, yeah. Normally you get mixed before Raccoon beam comes out in the first place, but yeah, you can't really see me. The only thing bad about Ginyu, we'll talk about it later. All my homies hate Birder. Birder was my favorite, because he has just so much combo potential. The problem is one slight delay or error or the way you hit your person or your opponent with Birder will clip them and you'll end up having an entirely new combo, or you'll just drop it completely. Thanks to Berter acting the way he works, acting how he works. I lost. I got 5th because I lost a cool kid who won HOC at the time because of Berter. Because I would have beat him had Berter not. I 2H punished him while Berter was flying in the air, and I went up there to finish a regular BNB. Berter came out of nowhere and clipped his Z Broly, and he fell out the combo. And I had this much meter. So I couldn't vanish. Berter already took him out of the combo. Couldn't vanish to kill him because that's how low he was. And ended up losing the game because of Berter. It was crazy. Berter gets hit too much. So that Berter's flying in the air, right? Berter's flying in the air. Somebody does a vanish. He hit me on block and still hit Berter. Berter's gone. So he's kind of flimsy too.
Poor Berter.
But he still applies good pressure to the screen, and he has its advantages. But I wouldn't even say nerf or buff my character for the Ginyu Force, because if you touch them, they're gonna be too strong. And if you touch Ginyu wrong, like give him a low 2L or something, then that's when he's really gonna be on the tier list. That's what he's missing. He don't have nothing to open you up. And Jace is okay. That's my least favorite one right there because it's a key blast. So as soon as they see Jace pop in the air like that, they could just super dash.
Right. But his special call is the purple comet, right?
Yeah.
And that's like
back and forward.
That at one point was the golden Ginyu call because it's just a destructive force.
Yeah, facts. Like just this right here. Nobody does this but me. Some cold fingers.
Hey, no worries.
Just go ahead and put it up there like this, right?
You can't see where they are at all. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Covers the whole screen. I can dash and make it worse. It just depends on what I want to do. Or I can cut the combo short. And now, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, you gotta hold that.
You gotta hold it, because if you super dash, I'm gonna catch you with either air light or 2H. Or this, because this stops super dash too.
That's actually got some new cool properties now too, right? Doesn't that swim up key blast?
Yeah. It does do that to key blast, but this move. Okay, so my opinion about Ginyu and his block strings, right? Off rip. This isn't real. This isn't real, period. So when you see a Ginyu doing this, that's already fake. Oh, this is never a good move to do because you can get level 3 or something. I barely do that. So I either do shoulder tackles or I do, out heavy in the short tackles. Those are the only real strengths for Ginyu. This is a low.
It's a low?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
The opponent is crouching in order for them to block this. Otherwise, they'll just remain standing. It's a low. The premise of Ginyu still has no mix. Because if you crouch block Ginyu, you block everything. So the only thing you're looking out for is a regular 6M that everybody has in the cast.
Right.
And if your reaction is good enough, once you see 6M, you can standing like that. That's a wrap. So, for punish. So, Ginyu's main problem is he has no mix, which is why I picked up Kid Buu to give him mix in the corner, at least. That way he has a guaranteed setup. All of his setups are off a knockdown, I should say.
That makes sense. And we can talk more about that too. All right, the last favorite style question, but what's your favorite Ginyu assist?
Assist.
A assist? Lariat guy?
A assist, simply because they're doing too much with this B assist. Doing way too much. Do you know how this assist works?
Yeah, you got to take notes on who's coming next. A lot going on.
there's a certain pattern that it goes through.
It goes through the same pattern as like if he was on screen using the special moves, right?
Yeah, but the directions change.
Oh.
There is S, quarter circle forward S, or 236S, or 214S. It's absolutely too much to deal with. When somebody can just call a UI, A assist, or casual beam assist, or something like that, I have to think about it. So this is the pattern, right? It's Goldo 5S, Coon 236S. It's Berter's 214S, where he flows low. It's back to 5S with Jace, which means that the next set, it already started at 5S, which means it's 236, which means the Goldo goes in the front, which means it's 214 now, which means Raccoon goes in the back charging. Right? Which means that Berter now doing the S kicks, which means that Ace is gonna do Comet coming towards me. Right? Which means that Goldo is gonna now appear in front of me. That's 214, which means 236 is Berter flying through the sky. Oh no, that's 5S Raccoon, then Berter flying through the sky. It's just 12 assists in this game, which means purple comment coming from my side to yours. There's 12 assists in this one assist.
How in the world do you have that order memorized? That is impressive.
Because I was trying to use it. I'm trying. Any Ginyu trying to use B assist, it's just looking to do too much. They're trying to be different with Ginyu. That's the only reason that B assist is not good enough, because there's just too many options. And then here's the crazy part, right? We're not even done, right? You remember the order, right? The first order was Goldo 5S, Raccoon Beam, Berter flying low to the ground, and Jace regular S, right?
Right.
So if I call this, Ginyu ever gets played, and I call that, now he's back as an assist. Can you tell me which move Raccoon is gonna go with?
Dude, I have no idea. Right. Fighting Bomber? Is it Fighting Bomber?
Fighting Bomber? Oh,
nope.
It's the kick.
Oh man.
Because as soon as you go back to the assist, he always starts. No matter where you left off with Ginyu, he always start on 5S. So I could do whatever I want with Ginyu. I'm on Jace. He's gonna be 5S with Jace when I get back. Then the pattern is gonna continue after that, like normal. 236, 214, and then back to 5S. 236, 214, back to 5S. So that's how it works. And it's way too much to keep up with.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about, especially like, I mean, you know, you're competing in House of Chaos. Like, that's a lot to think about when you have to fight like someone who's really, really good, and you have to worry about what they're doing too. I can't even imagine managing all that at once.
You have to manage assist combos, right? Because that's the hard part. That's the hard part. Cause see, like, once you start getting dumb stuff like Coon Beam, which is a good move, but you don't remember. Like, I called that out way before I started my kicks, but since Raccoon takes entirely too long, I have to call him out damn near middle of the combo, just for him to combo. The block strings, you know, that's just on a whim. Whatever I stop on, I have to remember what I stopped on. Do block string. So if I do this, you know, like, leaves my characters way too open.
Yeah, that's not doing you any favors. Whereas good old shoulder tackle, he's coming in, he's doing one thing, you know what it is, there's no weirdness to it, you know exactly what you're getting.
Right, it's just way too much to deal with.
Okay, so let's talk about Ginyu in neutral a little bit. So, I normally here would say, like, what's something that other Ginyus aren't doing in neutral that you think they should? I don't know if I've seen enough Ginyus play to really know what his neutral game plan is, because we already did touch on that the Ginyu Force is pretty slow to set up. So what's your approach to it?
Ginyu's whole game plan for neutral is Ginyu call. That's the main focus. Ginyu only has 2 special moves. Ginyu Force and the shoulder tackle.
Right.
Your object of the game is to get a call out. Now, depending on your opponent's knowledge of Ginyu and your skill level with Ginyu, determine how fast you get this moving. Because if the opponent knows that they need to stay on top of you, and that simple task gets really hard. But if you know how to manipulate the screen and get a chance to call one, it's kind of like a back and forth. It's either your opponent needs to stay on top of you as well as flutter the screen with their own projectiles. You have characters like 21 who can throw her loose change out her pocket all the time, or having a beam or a ball on the screen. Ginyu's not calling nobody out. And instead we have to play a different game. But if you don't have a character or a team that really throws a lot on the screen, he can get a call out eventually. And when he gets a call out, his game plan is for you to get a call out, you block it. Once I call this guy out and you block that, that's a free raccoon call. Whenever a raccoon call comes in, the opponent does one or two things. Either they're gonna try to reflect or block it, which is a no-no, or they're gonna jump in the air because they want to avoid the beam. And when they avoid the beam, it's typically what you want, because normal good players won't hold that. So when he comes out and you jump, I scoot into the beam. Therefore, you can't do me anything. I call raccoon, or I just might call raccoon flat out. I mean, a birder. I call birder out, or I might just call him right out instead of going into the beam, because you're full screen and can't do anything to me anyway unless you try to super dash. And by that time, when birder comes out, if you try to super dash me, I can 2H. Now things are on the screen. And when you're normally, if they jump, they super jump, because if you regular jump, you're just gonna land back in the raccoon beam. That means that they're gonna get tagged by birder. And when you get tagged by birder on block, I could just run up, hit you with a grounded mix, or I could run under you. If you're an anxious player trying to super dash, vanish or something, catch that, jump up, try to catch a mix. That's where the game starts. Or when you get tagged by birder, I call in Jace 5S. It's just all about stringing his Ginyu Force members together to constantly create things on the screen and pressure. Your opponent gets flustered. Your opponent gets flustered and confused, and then that's when you typically get the hit from you.
It's interesting that you put like a flow chart to how the Ginyu calls go. This is such a unique character, man, because no other character in this game approaches something like neutral in the same way. Like, the thought and planning that you have to put into closing that gap, which, like, you know, it seems like you have it pretty dialed. It's just really intense that there's like, you know, like a condition you need when you're standing across the screen from UI Goku, who can just do what he wants. What's your trick? Do you have a trick for like making sure that this game plan goes off? Is there something you do to, like, you know, kind of force the opponent into the situation you want to start making those calls and then go through that flowchart?
It's really all about how things go down in the match. For example, if the player does something risky with UI, let's say they call out a beam, and I react to the beam, and I call out Ginyu Force members from there, because you just gave me a free turn to call something out. I look at your assist. So there's, for example, that team right there on the other side, I have Janemba on there. Say he's shooting around and he calls Janemba A. I might wait till Janemba A leaves, because you know, when they see a Ginyu jump up, they'll normally call Janemba A, and I'll get hit because Ginyu Force is really laggy. Sometimes I might just rush in. Sometimes I'll rush in, call Team Gohan, get one. I shoulder tackle, beam, get one. Just all depending on how the situation. Like Ginyu's kind of like kind of custom creative to get in, because the same get in not gonna work all the time.
And you won't always have the same options available, which is an interesting aspect to it.
Right. So always having to change up how I get in, how I call. But once I get moving, once Ginyu gets going, he's pretty scary, especially if you're not really good at defense.
This is really informative as to why you've laid out your team to set up bringing him in on a DHC, because you're skipping this whole part, which makes total sense to me now, that you would just want to like start mid-pressure.
Right.
Okay.
Right, exactly. And the way this team is set up, you get hit, you die. That's you die straight up. Gohan got several TODs across the screen at 0 bars to 1.5. So you die off of that. Team Gohan builds a lot of meters, so the chance I get 3 bars from Team Gohan, which playing neutral gets you 1 bar, and then the combo will give me the rest that I need, will go straight into Ginyu. If you get hit by that, a combo big enough to kill the 30% that you have left from that. Then we have Ginyu out, and then we play Ginyu as as the next character. But naturally, if you're gonna die anyway, I'm just gonna switch from Team Gohan to Kid Buu, and I'm gonna always keep Ginyu in the back. And if Kid Buu's out, you get touched, you're going straight into Ginyu. I'm never calling Ginyu out. I'm always killing with another character, possible.
Why is Captain Ginyu the character that you have gravitated to? Because this is, like, as far as I've known, like, following your content and stuff, Ginyu is, like, your character. Like, you've kind of built your name up being, like, a really strong Ginyu player. What made you interested in this character to the point that you're willing to build around him so heavily?
Okay, so a little bit of a story.
Oh, love a good story.
So, I guess being a good player, I've gotten connections early on, hanging out with Mama Lamba and being real cool with Mama Lamba, being cool with Double L, being cool with pretty much anybody, because I don't, just easy to get along with. In season 1, I mained 16 Team Gohan Goku. I got featured on Yoga Flame for that. I was fighting a lot of strong people. A lot of people was like, yo, you should fight Double L. Fought Double L. I was giving Double L a lot of trouble in season 1. He was playing Ginyu. I put up in Kid Buu. He was asking me what was going on with that matchup and stuff. And I was like, Ginyu, you play Ginyu, well, but you're not playing him, at least in my eyes, at his full potential. And he was like, why? I was like, you got mix-ups, you got neutral, pressure on the screen, the way you like to do it, and that's fine. But you don't have any combos. Now, towards season 3, he's kind of doing combos, but nobody's doing the combos that I do. Nobody's doing as much damage as I do. Double L made me pick this character up. Simply because he told me he really doesn't think that Ginyu does damage. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go to the training room with Ginyu for a little while, and I'm gonna see what I come up with. He said, cool. About 45 minutes in, I found something, and I think this was the first combo. This was the first combo that I learned. And pretty bread and butter. Strong. The combo.
Just a quick 65. Good lord.
The quick 65, no meter spent.
Oh.
Right. It's a solo. Not a solo, but it's a sparking list TOD as well. If I have enough meters. So, that's one of the first combos I showed him in the corner. What he told me was, how is he supposed to get that off? The Ginyu Force always changing. I said, well, if you're gonna be the best at something, you're gonna have to do stuff like that. This character changes all the time. So you're just gonna have to have that in the back of your mind. And as long as you do something, put your hard work into it, hard stuff becomes easy. Just like anybody who started this game, if their future self goes to back to the beta or when the game drop and say, hey bro, you need to be doing all this yourself, most likely you tell yourself, how in the world am I doing that? You know what I'm saying? You learn over the course of time. Hard things get easier. It just comes with practice. He really wasn't gravitating towards that answer. So he wasn't doing what I made in the lab. And what I found in the lab with Ginyu be so satisfying because I'm a combo specialist. I like doing combos. I'm more of an entertainer than a competitor, but I can also compete. I'm more of somebody who would just show you a lot of flashy combos in order, getting them off on strong opponents, just having a good time overall. But right now, it just seems when he gave me that answer, just made me feel like I needed to pick up Ginyu to show the true power of what he was capable of.
You said that Ginyu has trouble with mix, but you still got to deal with block strings. You got to have that stuff queued up. What's something you do in pressure to open up your opponent that you don't think other Ginyus take enough advantage of?
It's a good question because we don't have a lot of Ginyus.
Yeah, see, that's the thing for this exact episode. Is it's a little tough. What did Goichi not do that you wish he did?
Well, he certainly doesn't use Ginyu Force and block strings a lot. He's kind of typically plays Ginyu by himself. He gets an opening. One thing I don't like players doing is they just do this. All Ginyu players do this. Have a whole Ginyu Force. Use it. You only got that much damage. You could be blowing your opponent up. Mid-screen, corner, whatever. When doing pressure, you want to have an assist that gives you some coverage. Puts them in different situations. It's kind of hard to talk about that with Ginyu because he's really with the flow mid-screen.
Right.
Corner is a different story though, especially if you start off with Goldo, crouch, don't switch. If you start off with Goldo, you have to hold some stuff. Oh, what I got him doing? Oh, reflecting. Take that off. Like for instance, Ginyus really do like custom setups. So did that wrong. Which I'm still working on a few different ones. For the most part.
That is a lot on the screen at once.
Yeah, and then you get into combos. You got opened up, and whatnot, and so forth. Because you have to block all that. All that's a true string until the last part where it's a mix-up.
Dude, how did you, I can't believe, I'm gonna harp on this every time that I see it. I can't believe that you did all that pressure and then knew exactly how to do your Ginyu Force member specific combo route after you opened them up. That is nuts that you can just do that off rip, without, you didn't even you were talking through it. You weren't even thinking that hard. You just did a bunch of pressure, got your opening, and then did a sick Ginyu conversion specific combo. I can't believe, how many hours have you put into practicing these things?
Every time I get on.
That's wild.
Every time I get on.
Wild. I love that. That's my favorite thing about this episode so far, is just seeing how cleanly and comfortably you just can do whatever depending on whichever Ginyu Force member it is. It's very impressive.
I appreciate you, man.
Hey, you're gonna hear it at least 3 more times in this because it's gonna come up again. So all right, so yeah, it does seem like in terms of actually mixing up, because he lacks weird special moves that your main mix-up tools are going to be the standards, like a 6M or an IAD or a tick throw Dragon Rush or something. Is that kind of like the case?
That's the typical game plan from Ginyu. Naturally, I don't Dragon Rush or 6M.
You don't?
No. Hardly use 6M.
I don't use 6M at all, I feel you. But I'm also bad and you're good, so I'm surprised by that.
In season 1 and season 2, especially for online play, 6M Dragon Rush and Super Dash were the main keys of winning a game. Online players who don't know better.
Mm-hmm.
And so people almost deem that as not as a bad player, but you lose credit for using that. I ended up taking that. That's just an online thing, because offline everything counts. We're playing at perfect connection. The game is flawless. So if you can't block whatever you're trying to do, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Since online's not like that, cheap tactics usually get you disqualified from said conversations in a way. So I kind of grown to not use 6M and Dragon Rush. If anything, I might Dragon Rush you a little bit. But 6M I barely use. I need to get out of that habit and that mindset. I need to start using that more, because I can open up people a lot faster. I open a lot of people up with staggers. And staggers, IADs, and super jump float. Super jump float I really don't use too much, but I'm starting to, because now I picked up Kid Buu, and if I use it with him, I'm going to be using it with the whole team in a nutshell.
And he can get a lot out of a good float too.
Yeah, I stagger a lot. So if there's an off chance you reflect me, I can appear right back in your face. You know what I'm saying? Or delay it enough, I can appear right back.
Does Ginyu have good stagger pressure, or is frames solid for that?
You just go. It's all that 5M that I was talking about. Because when you reflect me, I come right back. You get hit. That's the EX shoulder tackle. If you block it and I don't call nothing, you get scooted back. There's not many characters that can deal with me from this distance.
Right. That's interesting. I think it's cool that the shoulder tackle sets you up at 5M distance too. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah, it does. So that's something I'll do. If they're not familiar, I'll 5M. If they are familiar, I'll do this, back up, and do another one. Because if you're like Kid Buu and you stomp, and you're gonna catch me with 1M. But if I backdash, you're gonna miss, and then I can. It's all about character knowledge at that point.
Right, like matchup specific stuff.
Right.
Cool.
Also, Ginyu's out, and I have you in the corner. Also, why he's in the back, because if I have my assist up, do a combo, I'm always tagging. It's a never-ending loop, basically. So if I do this combo, which this combo kind of gets on my nerves sometimes, because that fall is tough. To throw a 3-frame delay in the middle, it just eats my buttons sometimes.
I mean, if
if
you're saying it's tough, it must be absolutely absurd after everything I've seen you do today. So
tag in and you go right back to the center. Gotta hold that. Get hit, going right.
And I mean, that's more than a 2-touch.
It's definitely, yeah, you definitely. Just if you get hit by something raw, if you get hit by something regular, it's like it's a 2-touch. It's a standard 2-touch. That's what I end up doing, and then I'll switch in different characters. I mean, this team does too much damage, man. I mean, it's all about mastering your craft with Ginyu. For instance, Murder. If you get hit, and I have about 75, you get hit by Birder, you can pretty much lose your life.
I like how he kind of switched sides a couple times there. That was interesting.
Yeah, this combo is a little difficult, but I've done it long enough.
A little saucy too.
Oh, I love the sauce. It's the hard part. You gotta manipulate that last part, because right there I could just simply grab. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to utilize the entire team. So you see how he whiffs?
Yeah.
His normals are just terrible. Like his air light is terrible. That's aside from his grounded. See that's ignorant. That's the stuff that I don't like.
That's the birder.
One small time off. That's the birder. One small change in timing, and that could be curtains.
Well, birder is the fastest living thing in the universe, so he doesn't really care about your timing. He's on his own clock.
Facts.
He got places to be.
Got everything. He ain't finna be nowhere. We all die. This combo is so difficult.
I'm really interested to see what that last little link is that you're missing, because it looks. Are you trying to get a Dragon Rush there?
No, I can get that. I can get that first try.
What's the desired link?
There we go.
Oh, sneaking a little extra 5H in there. A little jump 5H.
See, that's another problem too. Like the way I have to set it up when Kid Boo's level 1 sends you up and comes back down, I have to catch you at the right time. Call Team Gohan's level 1, so the extra little pieces of Kid Boo's level 1 lands into his.
Right. You gotta get that rain.
Yeah, for the little damage that I'm missing, make it a TOD. But
jeez,
it's like those little things. But this team does way too much damage, and I love it. Because you die from 3 bars at Goldo. You die from 4 bars at Raccoon. All meterless. Everything is that I did here is a 0 bar TOD, but I'll never have to spend my sparking with Ginyu.
That's wild.
Rarely ever have to do it.
Let's talk about his Oki a little bit. What's something you do Oki wise that is kind of your go-to? Like, I know, like, Ginyu Force is probably like each have their own unique versions of Oki depending on what call you have, but let's go through it. Like, if someone was going to pick him up and they wanted to know what to do on a knockdown, what do you think is like the first thing they need to learn?
Need to realize when you play Ginyu, every time you get a knockdown, it's a free Ginyu call. You always want to call Ginyu Force when you land on the ground, simply because you can get your call out, you can recover, and you can still move after. If you call it in the air, you're still going to be floating. Then you're not really going to have any time to use what you just called out, unless you're trying to get to something specifically. But you call out Goldo, that's not damn train and roam stuff. Goldo, Raccoon, so you have to block it, right? That's the setup. You normally want to cover people's wake up with a Ginyu Force member. Like Birder, if you call him on time. Normally people like to jump back, jump up, all that. Birder covers all that. I was really supposed to run up closer to him and then call it. He covers like a sky option. Then once a person's up there, get checked by Birder, and then you can mix them under, like I said before. Actually, you just want to use the Ginyu Force member to hold down your opponent on block, or make them choose an option. Because if you have this and you call it, they might super dash through it. He's just not your typical standard Oki character. He just pretty much goes with the flow wherever you have available. And that'll make a person want to super dash if you're approaching with that. If they hold it, if they respectful and they hold it, you call Odo behind them. You have to hold that. Odo has like 20 hits of stun, so it's not long. So you can get a grab off. You could be really cheeky with that.
What does he have a safe jump setup for when you don't have the Ginyu member that you want?
I mean, I mean, he can use the standard safe jump setup. So for example, go in the air, fly back, react to the wake up and press heavy, and that'll cover. And if you press something, he just lands and blocks. But naturally, you're only gonna do that if you want to stay on who you have. Like if you have them in the corner and you want them to feel the pain of Raccoon start, and I'm gonna hold Raccoon and not use him. The way I have Ginyu set up with all these combos is no matter who I start, it's gonna hurt, and so I just call anybody out. Instead of me trying to open you up like that, I'll just call Raccoon, and actually when they see Raccoon and they hear the Raccoon beam come out, they uptake. So there's no way for them to get out. And if they try to get out, they get slapped. I'll just call it out right here, and then I'll jump slap them down. They get put right back in the beam pressure, or they'll get comboed by the beam. And then if you get hit by that beam in the corner, period, it's just straight into shoulder tackle damage. Century. And that's when I do the combo, tag out into Tingohan or Kid Buu, tag back into Ginyu and mix you again. Or if you're about to die, just end it myself with Ginyu and then tag another character in, put them up.
Makes sense.
All the combos in the corner end with rolling crush, which means that Goldo is always out first, which means that we're always gonna have to eat pressure, and I'm always gonna have the setup because I'm always ending on the right person.
Okay, that's structure. There's a lot of structure to that. Let's say tables get turned on you and you are stuck in some pressure. Does Ginyu have any tools you can use to deal with pressure? Any like strong anti-reflect stuff? I know we've talked about this 5M covering a lot of distance and the shoulder tackle. Are there any good buttons to mash, like something that's super quick besides like, you know, his base jab? What's something you do when you're stuck in defense for a while and you're sick of it, you want to get out?
I either jump or I reflect or I block. That's all you could do with Ginyu.
I expected that kind of answer because he, you know, we've touched on the Ginyu Force being a little slow, and he is lacking in alternate special moves like that. So I was expecting a system mechanics answer, but I had to do my due diligence and ask just in case.
Right, it's all the same answer. Reflect, EX shoulder tackle, or reflect, get out, call a Ginyu Force member, or reflect, 5M. That's basically all he has.
So you got to learn, if you're going to play this character, you got to learn to kind of hold stuff and block strong, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, two good challenge buttons too, because I can both 6 frames, crouching with 2L and 5L. So you challenge me. If you try to stagger me and you hard stagger, I'm definitely probably gonna try you. So
okay, cool.
Those are some things you have to do with Ginyu because he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, so put work in defense, get those training room dummies in the brutal UI Goku block strings and practice blocking. That's what I'm hearing. All right, so this one, I think you've kind of peppered the answer throughout the interview a little bit, but I'm gonna ask anyway. So if someone was on the fence about picking up Ginyu and they're like, Neji, I want to play Ginyu, but I'm not positive, what would you say to push them over the fence? What would you tell someone if they were interested in this character? Why should someone pick up and play Captain Ginyu in Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 3.5?
If you really like Ginyu, well, first off, you should only play Ginyu if you like Ginyu. That's number 1. Number 2, you like damage, like style, come up. If you like causing chaos, you know, you like when people crumble under pressure, pick Ginyu. He just struggles. I mean, he just succeeds in offense a bit. If you like taking people's assets away from their team, pick Ginyu. And if you like playing a lot of characters, pick Ginyu. Because if you body change, you get to play everybody. So
Which you just reminded me that we didn't talk about body change at all, so we have to circle back and talk about body change because it's body change.
Right.
Let's talk body change really quick. So I want you to talk through what the perks are, because this is a move that's come up recently as like a strategy people are interested in. I've seen a couple pro players mention body changing a little bit. I think Sonic Fox talked about it a little bit, and I know Goichi was using it as part of his strategy. So what does body change accomplish? Should you be going for it in your game plan? And is it something that you try to get off whenever you can?
Body change is definitely worth it. Your team needs to have some type of way to body change. I've been body changing since season 1, so it's not anything new. I've body changed in so many different ways. I mean, I could just get hit by a super dash, your character's gone. It's mine. That's it. Should be it right there.
Okay, so at this point, you've switched. You are the Roshi, and the opponent is Captain Ginyu, right? So what is the nerf they have? They can't call the Ginyu Force, right?
Right. They spend about 36 frames just having a heart attack.
And that applies to just their special button too? Like if they even try like throw a key blast or something like that? Because that would normally be a call. He just gets that little heart attack thing.
Yep, all heart attack. Ginyu don't have no key blast, so it's all Ginyu Force. And he can't call no Ginyu Force. He can only shoulder tackle.
So you're down to, you basically put them in a position where they have a character that can only do basic B&Bs and has a lariat, and that's pretty much it, yeah?
Yep, that's it.
Man, that is a huge advantage. What happens if they do a super move? Can they do his key super?
He can do level 1.
Can you like up it to level 2 like he can?
Yeah, they can do the whole entire. They're all good with that. They can do that. They can't level 3. This is me trying to input level 3.
And that would be the new level 3. Like they can't do that one. This
right.
The whole
either
squad.
One.
Oh, you can't body change back either. Right. Okay.
Yeah, neither one.
So you're essentially crippling a character on their team, more or less, when you do that.
Exactly.
Man, that's nuts.
All right, so Ginyu more powerful if we can cripple that assist too. But if you see, still have shoulder tackle.
Right. So so is that something you're thinking about when you're like when you go into a match and you're on that screen where you can see your team and their team? Are you eyeballing for which character you would want to body change at that moment? Is that something you're thinking about ahead of time?
Think about everything. Yeah. If the opponent's weaker than me, I don't care about taking a character. I'll just keep mine. If the opponent is my level or stronger than me, it's definitely an ideal thing to do to take their character. Primarily, I will take your best character, and best meaning that you play best. It's your best character, and I'm just gonna take that away. There's a lot of factors that I go with when I pick the character I want to take. It's either what's the biggest problem to me? Is it do I Goku? All right, well then I'm gonna take that out. Maybe you're a really good 17 player, but the only reason you're a really good 17 player is because you have GT Goku assists. So I'll just take your GT Goku assists. Or I'll take whatever is really helping out with your team. That is the goal. And then not only does that help me, like let's say for instance when I took Roshi. Now team is Tengohan, Roshi, Kibu. So I'm pretty sure you have Roshi B. I got Roshi B, Kibu C, and Tengohan. Now my team just turned into a high tier team. It's because I swapped with Ginyu. I have a DP and a beam, so pretty much any character is going to work with me. And that allows me also to take Ginyu off of my team and play other characters with this team, so that way when I do take you, I know what to do.
That is an interesting element to this character, because that means that you have to know how to play. Like you need to have a pocket like 5 top tier characters just in case.
I need to pocket everybody.
But I bet that feels good this season when you see like something like Anchor Z Broly and you're just like, nah, I'm gonna snag that and not even deal with it.
Oh, I'm gonna snag it. I'm gonna snag it right up on out of there. I used to have a body change where I'd hit you with a combo with Team Gohan into C assist and call Brawl Tag Ginyu, which I could show you still.
Yeah, if you got it, go for it.
It doesn't work with this team though. That was back with my old team.
Oh, interesting. Is it specific to the C assist?
Yes, it's Frieza C assist. Frieza C assist spreads out so much to where it delays because we're going so far. And by the time he hits, Ginyu's able to freely move, and I can call Godo and get the body change.
Okay.
So it works out like that. That was gonna be the strategy. If Frieza gets buffed the right way, which could be another video, but if Frieza gets buffed the right way, he's definitely gonna come back to my team. For now, I'm gonna focus on the strength of you. So, like, say for instance, where I get a hit, I can body change from Team Gohan playing the game. You know,
that's a tight window for the.
It is
body
a tight
change
window. I don't do it much. I just literally made it, and after I made it, I ended up switching teams. So I never really perfected the craft of. Perfected the craft of doing this. So probably gonna take me a little minute. I think that one's it. Seemed like it was it.
Yep. And now you are Zamasu. Yay.
Which I probably wouldn't want to be. But let's say you're just a guy like Zamasu, I'll just take that from you. Or I'll take the assist that's making him godlike. Probably
right.
Bardock B, because that character literally lives off one assist in the game.
Too funny, man. So. And there is a way you can do his little chest stab when you do the body change, right? Where he like punches
when you
himself
do
in the
body
heart.
change, you just hold it, and he can stab himself, and he takes 30% of his own life.
But that adds time to doing the move, so pretty hard to.
You know, the funny part is, absolutely adds no time.
Really?
The frame advantage is -46 or -45 on the regular one, and I do the same thing. It's the same -45. So all of that animation going through at the moment is all during frozen time, so it's not adding any extra frame advantage.
Is there any reason to ever not do that?
There's absolutely no reason not to stab yourself. Absolutely no reason. If there was some type of gimmick where it's good to leave a full health character, then yeah, or something like that. But otherwise, you want to hurt yourself. I think that pretty much covers the basis of this character.
Yeah, I think we got a lot. I mean, this is definitely one of the saucier characters to come on Secret Sauce, weirdly enough. You know, there's some saucy characters, but this guy, when he gets moving, that damage is just unparalleled. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy
Definitely
stuff.
a good character this season. I think it's his best season. I think he's not top tier for sure. He's not top tier. The wave is always to listen to the highest players, but he's not top tier. He ain't mid tier either though. He's somewhere like in the A's. A good character.
That makes sense.
This is his best season, but the problem is the people who's shining right now demolish him. I see the reason why a lot of top players have him as top tier. It's not because of him, but the setup he gives.
That makes sense.
Body change aspect.
He's got a good game plan. I think like the way you've structured your team really like shows that game plan has a lot of room to shine. You're a content creator. You're on the grind all the time. I took up some of your time. Let's plug your stuff. Where can people find you if they want to see this sweet, sweet Ginyu action? Where are you at?
Really, I'm on Twitch. I'm on, YouTube, Neji4Real, and Twitch is Neji4Real YT. But I stream every day, which is why my YouTube uploads don't be happening every other day like it used to. But I'm about to start getting my schedule organized so that way I can get everything going out constantly.
And guys, if you're not following Neji on Twitch, I highly recommend it, especially if you're into multiple games, because this dude jumps around stuff. I've seen him play Dragon Ball FighterZ, but I've also seen him play some Bloody Roar. I've seen him play, what were you playing the other day? Was it Tenkaichi 2? Or was it Budokai 3? Something like that. Like one of the older Dragon Ball games.
Yeah, just last night I was playing Budokai 3.
Anyway, super fun stream. Check it out if you haven't already. And Neji, dude, we'll catch you next time.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, dude.